What's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery and I share my life with you. So, I just got back from picking my son up from school, you guys, and on the way back home from picking him up, we were driving. Of course, that's what we do. Yeah? Okay. Bye, baby. I love you. We were driving home from picking my son up from school, and we were coming up to a red light, right? And I was slowly approaching the red light, and I looked over to the right, and there was a bench where people wait for the bus. And so I looked over, and I saw a guy sitting there waiting on the bus. He had on a pair of sunglasses, kind of like this, and a long sleeve shirt on, button up the front, and a pair of jeans. And when I looked over, he was in the middle of nodding. So I rolled my window down and I said, "Hey man, hey, are you all right?" And he didn't hear me, I guess. So I don't know what it was, you guys. This was today. I don't know what it was, but I pulled over. I said, I'm going to go see if he's okay. So I pulled over really quickly into a parking spot behind him, and he didn't know I was behind him. And I walked up the embankment, it's like a little hill, to the bus stop. And I walked around to where I was in front of him, and I said, "Hey man, are you okay? My name's Nicole DeMeo." He looked up, and his eyes got really bright, and he said, "Michelle's sister Nicole from Hot Springs?" And he just started pouring tears out of his eyes, crying, sobbing. And I said, "What's wrong, man? What's wrong? Are you okay?" He goes, his name is, I'm not going to say his name, but he said, "My name is," and so we went to high school together from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I said, "It's okay, man. What drugs are you using? What drugs are you on?" You know? He's like, I'm not on any drugs right now." And I said, "Okay, well, how long have you been sober, you know?" And he told me, he said that he's in the methadone clinic here or same place I go to, only my doctor does some, but it's in the same clinic. So it's the same doctor. And I told him, I said, "I go to the Suboxone clinic." I said, "I've been sober for 4 years." I said, "Don't cry." I said, "It's going to be all right." You guys, he was like, "My family, they don't want anything to do with me. They've abandoned me. They're pissed at me. They think I'm getting high." Right? And I told him, and I said, I looked at him and I started crying, you guys. Oh my God, I cannot even help it. I remember being like that. I remember being on the side of the road, crying and not having anybody, homeless with no friends. No, my family was far away, all alone, you know? I told him, I said, wait right here. And I ran to my car and I went and got some money out of my car. And I brought back my phone number on a piece of paper and gave him this money, and he wouldn't take it. You guys, I said, "You fucking take the money. Take it." You know, I said, "Don't make me get fucking crazy up in here." And because I know this kid. I went to high school with this kid. So he took the money, and I gave him my phone number, and I got his phone number, and I told him, I said, "I'm going to go home, and I'm going to talk to my husband, and I'm going to tell him what happened, and I'm going to find you somewhere to go." I said, "I can't bring you back to my house." I said, I just can't do that. Like, I'm married, I have a child. I said, "But I'm going to call everybody I know in Arkansas that has a halfway house or a treatment center, and I'm going to help you find somewhere to live, man." It broke my heart, you guys. The only way I can tell you is that I, when you see someone that you're in high school with, that like, and then they're like, he was just destitute, and I said, "I know how you feel." I said, "I have been there." I said, "Man, I'm telling you what, I know you might not want to hear this." I said, "But sometimes we got to hit rock bottom to get back up and get back on top." I said, "I've been right where you're at. I've homeless, crying. I said, one time I was walking down the side of the street with a stick in my hand, shaking it at every car that drove by because I thought the people that were in the cars were trying to get me to be their prostitute because I was so high. I was hallucinating. I said, I totally understand. And so I told him, I said, go to the mall, go downstairs and hang out in the mall where it's nice and cool. You can walk around. Nobody really notice you're there, and hang out there until they close. So that way you'll be somewhere cool and you won't be sweating, right? You guys, addiction doesn't care who you are. And I was talking to my sister because my sister used to date him when they were like in 5th grade, right? And I said, Michelle said, he comes from a good family. You know, I said, addiction doesn't care if you have a good family. You know, I said, when did you start using drugs, man? What happened? You know what I mean? And he said he had started using heroin 4 years ago. As this poor kid, he had pick marks all over his face, scabs all over right here, picks all over here, track marks all over his hands and wrists. And the thing about it is, you guys, like, I know what it looks like when track marks on somebody's, what happens is on your hands, especially if you shoot up, then where you shoot up, like, there'll be a line, right? Because what happens is a lot of the times when we shoot up right here, when we pull the needle out, we drag it like that, and we go up and down that vein right there. Right? Worst vein to do if you ask me. But what you'll have like just skin that is scar tissue, so it'll be red, right? And he had red raised up track marks all over him. And I just felt so bad. Anyway, so I feel like God placed me there, you guys, to see him. Because I wasn't going to stop. Me and Nate were driving by. My son in the car with me. I never stop whenever I have Nathaniel in the car with me because it's dangerous. But I had my dog with me, Onyx, right there, my attack dog. And I knew that he wasn't going to let nobody in that car with my son. So I parked my car in a parking space. I locked the doors, and I left Nate in the car with the car running with the air conditioning on, and his attack dog Onyx was right beside him.
Did you find
and it? I found it. They stayed over there while I went and talked to this guy. It is hot here, you guys. It's like 87 degrees outside. It's hot. So anyway, I am going to go downstairs and find his phone number, and I'm going to try and get a hold of his too. And I'm going to find this kid some help because I'm telling you what, you guys, like, I just remember being just like that. I remember just crying and not thinking that anybody cared about me. And that's what I told him. I said, man, I got you. I said, you know what? God done graced you with a little Mexican angel because that's me. And I'm here to help you.
I'm half Mexican.
You are half Mexican. Say hi, everybody. So, do you know how I just feel like God put me in that position. I just feel, you guys, I guess I'm upset because I remember being like that. I remember being on the side of the road, and I remember, like, being so alone. I remember sleeping in places I didn't want to sleep. I remember begging my customers when I worked at Kroger. I remember asking these old men if I could stay the night at their house. And I knew I wasn't going to be safe, right? But I didn't want to sleep in the street. I didn't want to sleep outside. So I would go and stay at these old perverted men's houses. And I would wake up in the middle of the night with these old men, like, standing over me, you know? And I did that, though, because I didn't have anywhere to go. So I will, you guys, I will. And I'm not going to say his name or anything, because what if one of his family members or something watches? But hopefully we can get him back on track, because, so I asked him, what's wrong? And so I could tell he looks like he's fresh on methadone, because what I mean by that is he was kind of like still like tired from the effects of it. And usually when you have been on heroin, when you switch over to methadone, it's really not. It's not, it's just an easy transition, and it's not that strong on you. So maybe he is like, maybe he is not used to it, or maybe he was on heroin when I just seen him. He said he wasn't, but his pupils were pin thin and he was nodding out. That's why I pulled over, because I looked over and he was going, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I hope he's okay. And my thought in my mind was, this kid's overdosing right there on the bus bench, and I need to pull over and help him. That's what I thought was happening. So, man, I'm telling you guys, I would hope somebody would stop for me. Hope somebody would stop for me. If they saw me, you guys, if somebody saw me on the side of the road and I was struggling like that, I'll tell you though, real talk, the whole time I was homeless on the streets and I was on the side of the road like that, nobody stopped. Nobody stopped. I don't know if I just seemed like very unapproachable, or if people just don't give a care. People don't care. But nobody ever stopped for me. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop for other people. Yeah, buddy. Boy, you know that stuff's gone. You want some chips? Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, Julie. And I think that's what he was, you guys. I think he was just like, seriously, I think I caught him right after he got the clinic, and maybe his parents and him had just had an argument. But I'm going to get his phone number out of my car right now, and I'm going to call him after I get off the phone with you guys. And we'll see what we can do. First I'm going to look up some male halfway houses. First things first, Nicole. Come on now. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right, Sonia. I want to help other people, because I remember what it was like being like that. But there is also, we all I have to protect myself, right? Like, sure, I want to help him, but like I said, I can't be bringing strangers back to my house, even though I grew up with him and we went to high school together, in kindergarten, grade school. Doesn't mean I know what he's like now, So I can't put myself in harm's way. So that's what we have to remember when we're being of service to other people, you guys. Like, being of service is amazing, but you have to protect yourself too. Don't do things that can put you in danger. Yeah? This child. Yeah, I think, I do too. Yeah, I got his phone number right here. So we're going to look up some places. Man, that broke my heart, y'all. Shit. I hate seeing anyone like that. And it's one thing to talk to people online here that struggle, you guys. But it's another situation when you see the person face to face. And you get to talk to them, you guys. And you get to hear the distress and the hurt in their heart. And this kid was just struggling. I want everybody to know that watches my videos that it doesn't have to get to that point. It doesn't have to get to the point where you're on the side of the road. It doesn't have to get to that point, you guys, where your family is abandoning you. Like, there is hope. You can change your life now. You can start right now instead of waiting until all these horrible things happen, right? I do know that for me, horrible things had to happen because I just couldn't. It was like I couldn't stop, you guys. And I know that's why I don't ever judge anybody else's journey, because I remember I couldn't stop. Like, I was just I was a mess. Yeah. Hey, Brian, what are you doing? I saw your post on Instagram about kratom, and honey, I know what you're talking about. I have had two friends in treatment over kratom addiction because they got on kratom trying to get off Suboxone, and then they got addicted to kratom. But so we're gonna find this guy some help, you guys. That's what we're gonna do. Well, you know why they get mad at you? Because they got mad because people are trying to be like they're wanting other people to like rally around and like get it approved to be okay. But here's the thing, you guys, it's like gets you high. It attaches itself to the same receptors that heroin does, the mu receptor. And so when people, now some people might not abuse it. Now that lady that commented on your post, she might not abuse it. Maybe she really uses it for chronic pain. But when us addicts have access to it and we know it's going to produce a heroin-like high, what do you think we're going to do with it? Did you also know that people are getting botulism and salmonella from contaminated kratom? Because when the people over there harvest it, they are not sanitary. And so people are getting like diseases from it. Did you also know that vendors are like tweaking it and adding other stuff to it to like soup it up and make it more powerful? And so that's what's happening. That's why when it's not FDA approved, so it's like just whatever, you know. Anybody could sell it. Anybody can tamper with it. And that's why everybody's like, "Oh, big pharma, big pharma." Well, at least you know things are sanitary and clean when they're FDA approved, right? Oh, sorry guys. That will be it for another video. Kratom, another video. Like I said, I want everybody to find what works for them in their recovery, but I also think it's very irresponsible to say that something doesn't produce a high and isn't addictive whenever it does produce a high and it is addictive and you can become dependent on it. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys follow Vex, but Vex is in treatment, you guys, because of kratom. He couldn't get off of kratom. What, right? Yeah. Yeah, Sonia. And so we would just rather you be on medically assisted treatment because you could be monitored by a doctor and you're safe and you're also getting addiction treatment combined with your medically assisted treatment. That's why medically assisted treatment is successful because and this is why people need to also know it's really important to get the addiction treatment and therapy while you're on the medically assisted treatment. You know what I'm saying? So if people are just trading from heroin to kratom, where's their addiction treatment, right? They're not going to be able to get any because it's not approved, it's not safe, it's not legal, right? So it's just dangerous. It's very important, you guys, to get addiction treatment, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with people using it to help them with their withdrawals. But like I said, I think it's irresponsible to say that it doesn't produce a high and that you can't get addicted to it when you can, right? I've seen several people that were on Suboxone taper off Suboxone and then switch over to kratom, and now they're on kratom and they can't get off. Okay, Bobby. Call me when you get off. I just got done I have me a Route 44 sweet tea or unsweet tea with lemonade in there. That's what I'm drinking, but I see you so much. Anyway, we could go on and go on, you guys. We could go on and on about all this different kind of stuff. Hey, Sunny. Thank you very much. Everything is cool with me and the crew. I'll be over there tonight on your channel probably about 9 when you go live. Me and Gold Dust Woman were talking about you today, and we feel like it was our higher power, her higher powers, the universe, mine is God, that put us together in each other's lives, because I would have never met Gold Dust if it wasn't for me coming on your channel, Sonny. So, thank you. Y'all, Sonny has a channel, and it's about, he talks about all kinds of cool stuff. He has a book about emotional weight loss. He talks about astrology. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, go over there and subscribe to his channel. He's a very good friend of mine, and he's a supporter of Real Talk Recovery. So, you guys, I love y'all. I just want you guys to know, like, I don't want anyone to struggle with the disease of addiction if they don't have to. And I don't want you to be homeless out there on the streets, because you guys, on them streets, it is not a good, it's no fun. It is no fun. But I'm telling you, that's where addiction takes us. And see, I'm one of those addicts that, like, I can't stop. And so once I start doing something, I'm going to do it and do it and do it and do it until I'm on the streets. It's like, I know if I take one shot, if I take one pill, if I take one toot, I will be on the streets. You know, that's exactly where my addiction will take me, and I don't ever want to go back there. And you know what I also feel like? I feel like God placed him in my path because he knew I needed to remember, I needed to see,
Mom,
I need to remember that hopelessness.
Can you give me something? Can you give me something to eat and something to...
Turkey sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Peanut butter and jelly? I needed to...
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay. I needed to feel that hopelessness
No,
again.
this
I needed
peanut.
to see it.
Mommy, this
Because
peanut butter.
hopelessness, you guys, there's nothing like it. Whenever you see someone who's straight hopeless, they're in the depths, it's a reminder, a good reminder. Remember when we were talking about the other day, y'all? That little voice. Yeah. Remember how we were talking about the other day about the drug dreams and stuff? And they get overwhelming sometimes, because I've been having them a lot lately. Well, I'm telling you what,
This
seeing
peanut
him...
butter, Mommy, this peanut butter on mine.
Okay, peanut butter, you got it. It was just like... Have you ever seen a grown man cry? Like a grown man sobbing their eyes out. That's where he was at. He was sobbing like he had just lost his mother, you know? And I'm sure that's how he feels, because he's at the depths right now. So, whew. Anyways, I'm going to get emotional, you guys, because I don't want to go back there ever again. And I don't want other people to have to struggle in that. That is the worst place to be, where you feel like you don't have any options. You know, it's just such a hard spot. You're hopeless. So, I'm going to call him, and I'll holler at you guys later, okay? I love y'all. I don't mean to get so worked up. It's just so hard, you guys, when you see somebody like that that's struggling. Like, it's hard for me because I remember what it felt like. I remember being just like that. And I want to go out there and I want to pick him up and throw him in my car and help him get sober, you know? But I know that he has to do this for himself. He has to do this for himself. It's part of the process. Oh, thank you so much. Just be safe, you guys. Be safe. You know, I don't make the best choices sometimes, you guys, but sometimes I just feel this feeling. You know, I'm not one of those people that pulls over every time and gives people change. Only when I feel this tug on my heart. Only when I feel it in my soul that I need to. Like, it's almost like I feel like my higher power will go, no, that person's just scamming you. Right? Yes, that's what it was. He gave me that. He was whispering in my ear and he was saying, this person needs you to stop. And when I stopped and told him who I was, and his eyes went, Michelle's sister? I was like, this kid knows who I am. Oh my God. We went to school together. Oh my God. I mean, like, y'all, I'm from a town where we all played softball together. We all went, like, it's just crazy because now I'm in a big city and the capital of Arkansas. It's a big city to me, and to meet somebody here and to see somebody that you know from school here is like not, you know, it's more common in Hot Springs where I was from. And so anyway, just please pray for this guy, you guys. Pray for him. Pray for him, and I'm going to call him, and I'll update you guys and let you know what we get figured out, all right? I love you guys. I hope y'all have a great, great day. Make good choices. Do the next right thing. Call me if you need me. Email if you need me. Hey, oh, bye, lewd content. Love you, girl. And listen, you guys. Like, please don't be upset or get offended when I say, you know, I just don't want people saying that crazy isn't addictive when it is, when people get addicted to it and are becoming dependent on it and then struggling, you know, getting off of it, because that's what happens. You'll withdraw from it. So I'm not, like I said, I support multiple pathways to recovery. Whatever you got to do to get sober, I'm down for that. I just want you to get therapy and addiction. I want you to get therapy, and I want you to learn about the disease of addiction. You have to educate yourself, because if not, you're just going to go back to the same ways. All right? I love you guys.